guys, happy Sunday. So this is the eye cream that I keep talking about that I never have downstairs, or I have it upstairs. Wait, that's the same thing. Or I have it down here and I'm doing a live upstairs. This is what's on sale right now. This is the Black Friday bundle 3, I think it is. Today's the last day to get it. So I have had this since it was released in August, and you can't really tell that's in there. I did order another one because it's discounted, but the scooper is not available right now, but you can still get your hands on the eye cream. And you can use, since the scooper's not available, you can use your finger to scoop it out. And I actually got way too much that I would normally not put this much on, but just to show you. So it comes in, I don't even have the box because it's upstairs, I believe, but it's got caffeine, it's got vitamins, it's got peptides in there. So you put a little bit on, and then I use this little tool. You can also use your finger just to rub it in, but this little tool, it's a round metal ball, so it's going to start moving the circulation around, increase the blood flow. So it's going to help with elasticity. It's going to help reduce puffiness. It's going to help, if you can see my dark circles, it's going to help reduce the dark circles. And to be honest, because I've had it either downstairs when I get ready at night, I haven't been using it, and I can definitely notice a difference. This mark was there when I started using it in August, and it had completely gone away. So because I'm not sure if it's the caffeine or what ingredient it is, I'm assuming it's the caffeine, but I don't know that for sure. You do feel a tingle, so it feels like right away when you put it on, it's going to tingle and it's going to tighten the skin up, so it's going to make it more firm. It, like I said, it has vitamins in it. It has peptides, which is going to help increase, rejuvenate the skin. So it's going to build new skin cells in there. And you can put it on in the morning, you can put it on in the night. I think when I first got it, I might have even been applying it in the middle of the day, but I can't remember. It's amazing. If you don't have it, you should get it while it's on sale. Today is the last day. The bundle was for the actual eye cream and the tool, but since they ran out of this, it's 20% off of the eye cream. It's a great gift. It will last you, like I said, this one I got in August, I think the beginning part of August, so we'll say September, October, 4 months now. So it's gonna last you at least 5 months. It's well worth the money. So I'm just gonna go for a quick look today. 1, because it's Sunday. 2, because I'm not feeling great. Hello, hello. So I'm just gonna use some brown shadow while that caffeine eye cream is soaking into your under eyes, and I'm just gonna darken up, fill in my brows. You can do this with an eye pencil. You can do it with a shadow like I'm using. You just want to get a shadow that's gonna somewhat match your hair color. And I just have an angled brush, and I'm literally just filling in any sparse areas. I tend to, and I add my tail just a little bit, but you want it to be a thin tail. I tend to draw the outside up to the arch and down the tail, and then the same thing on, I start on the bottom and then I do the same thing on the top. I'm hoping I can be quick. Finley has not been feeling great for the past couple of days, and he's in the other room watching TV, but I'm sure he will grace us with his presence as soon as he realizes I'm not there. So this is what I just filled in. I draw a straight line right where my brows start. Actually, they come out a little bit further, but because I tweeze that, or I wax that part off. I just draw a straight line up to where my arch would be, and then I do a tail and I just extend it, I don't know, about the length of my brush. You don't have to do that, and the more you do your brows, the more comfortable you will get. I have typically kind of colored them in, or I would use the brow, looks like mascara, like a gel, and just tame them so they're not all crazy. But I've been trying to go out of my comfort zone with my brows and do a little bit more to them. I feel like the shadow, regardless of like what powder you're using, I feel like that's easier. A lot of people use like a brown pencil, and you just do the same thing. So this one just rolls up, it has a spoolie on the end, so this one's good to travel with if you don't want to take a lot of tools. However, because I'm using a shadow, if I were to travel, I could take this palette, have multiple different looks, and do my brows at the same time. I also rotate and kind of mix these two browns in, so this one's obviously a little bit lighter and this one's a little bit darker, and I kind of mix the two of them. I'm just going to put a little bit in the front here. But if I look back when I first started doing my brows, they were not great. They're still not my favorite to do, and I think it's very time consuming, but I think it definitely is worth it, and it's gonna frame your face a little bit more, make your face look more complete than not having them done at all. That's just my opinion. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna put on a little bit of my hands are purple because I just dried my hair. I'm gonna put a little bit of my eyelid primer. This is one of my favorite products that I use because it's going to help prevent creasing and it's going to make your shadow stay on. I like to, it will leave your lids a little bit tacky, but that's what it's intended to do, so that the eyeshadow sticks to it. I like to put it on and then go to something else so it kind of sets up a little bit. I think I'm going to go in with this same palette. So like I said, the eye cream, I won't even show you the applicator because it's out of stock, but the eye cream right now is on sale, 20% off. I believe, I think it's $49. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's $49, which is 20% off. If you add on, like we still have the palette 6, if you add on the palette 6, you're gonna get free shipping. So free shipping is anything over $70. Sorry, I'm like blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm gonna use this white, it's like a cream bone color, and I'm just gonna go over my entire lid. So I'm going a little bit backwards so that the eye cream can set up a little bit. A lot of people also use that eye cream because, like I said, it helps with fine lines and wrinkles. So a lot of people are putting it on whatever wrinkles are giving them problems and have noticed that it's starting to, I don't want to say disappear, but reduce the wrinkles. So it is one of my favorite products. It really does work. If you have a nighttime routine, it's great to add in the eye cream because it will help with bags and puffiness and dark circles. Another secret is the concealer. But if you have a nighttime routine, it's great to add that eye cream in. Hello, hello. So then I'm going to go in with some, actually I'm going to use my smaller brush. I'm going to go in with this maroon color and just put some in the crease. just to darken that up. Also, if you hop on and I'm live, say hello. If you hop on and catch the replay, hashtag replay, so I know you were here and I can thank you for hopping on. But for every share, drop the coffee emoji and you will be entered for the November giveaway. Make sure you let me know in the comments whether it's the coffee emoji or you just say hashtag shared, because I can't always see, I can see shares, but I can't always see who did it, depending on, one, Facebook, and two, the your privacy settings. I can't always see it. So if you want entered for November's giveaway, which is almost up, share it and let me know that you shared by either the coffee emoji or just say shared. And I'm going to blend that out with the other brush that I just used. So are most people taking off next week, or are you still working? Are you going out shopping after Thanksgiving? This palette 6 is very versatile. So I don't know how many palettes they actually had. I think I have like 3. This one's one of my favorites because, like I said, I am a brown girl and I'm a mauve, I'll just go with mauve color girl. Those are my 2 go-tos, and I feel like this combination palette is extremely versatile, and it's got my 2 faves in there. It's got a few of the shimmers, it's got some of the matte colors, but it's just very versatile. You can mix all of them together, obviously, or you could just do one individual one. You can do the mauves, you can do the roses, you can do the browns. So it is by far my favorite. So they brought it back. I think this one was the #1 seller. So they brought it back as it was before Black Friday, so I'm not exactly sure like what the circumstance was, but they brought it back as a one-time only, and once it's gone, it's gone. Or maybe they just found extras and decided to do a sale on it. But I definitely love the colors in the palette. They're very versatile, and like I said, I use the brown for my eyebrows. So if you're traveling and you don't want to take a lot of makeup, you can take one palette and be done. So I'm just building up my crease line, and if you can notice, I go above my crease line because I have hooded eyes. So if I put that right in the crease, when I open my eyes, you won't even be able to see it. So I'm just going a little bit above and just in a windshield wiper motion, blending it all out. And I go back and forth between my smaller crease brush and the bigger fluffy crease brush. This one, the bigger one, is good for blending, whereas the small brush is good if you're just applying it like to your crease or right above your crease line or smaller targeted areas. You just want to make sure when you have a product on your brush that you either tap it out or blow on it, or you can hit it against like the counter or whatever. That's going to get the extra product off, so it's not going to fall. Typically, I do my foundation first, so if I have fallout, it's going to end up under my eyes. But I'm typically a pretty clean eyeshadow applier, so it doesn't bother me too much. If I were doing bright, funny colors, I might do it the opposite way. I did it the opposite way today because I just wanted you to be able to see the difference from this eye cream just in the few minutes that it sits on your eyes. It's very noticeable. And I said in the other day I didn't have it, but I need to start applying it wherever else I have wrinkles, maybe up here, around here. I've got a little red breakout there. And I'm gonna go with some of this shimmery pink rose. I don't know that you can see that, but it's like a rose shimmer pink. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of setting spray on my brush. So that's gonna make it more vibrant, and it's also because it's shimmery, it's gonna help keep it on, keep it where you want it applied. Some more on. My brush is still a little wet, which is okay. And because it's shimmery, I'm just gonna kind of dab it. You don't have to, if your brush is wet for this purpose, you don't have to tap the excess off, because if it's wet, it's gonna hold that product, and it should not, there shouldn't be any fallout. Really like that pink. So I'm going to get my brush wet again so that I can do the other eye. Again, I'm just dabbing it on my eyelid. And you don't have, like, I would get your brush wet from eye to eye, but if you're just going back and adding more, your brush should stay somewhat wet, where you don't have to get it wet every time. I use setting spray because that's what I have in here and it's quicker. However, you can just get your brush wet with water. If you don't have any setting spray, it's gonna make it stick to your eye as well. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more of the cream bone color on and blend it into the darker part. It's just gonna blend all of them together. So using that bone color first, it's just gonna accentuate your eyebrows, but can you see where I blended it as opposed to just the dark line? And I went back to my fluffy crease brush so that I could blend it all out. Get it all blended. It makes my eyes super blue. So what foundation should I do? Decisions. I think I'm gonna do BB cream, which I've been using, but I'm also gonna add in some of the liquid foundation. So if you can see, the liquid foundation is separated. That's because it's a mineral based foundation. So you wanna unscrew it, you wanna empty out the dropper. I'm gonna make a mess here because I need it to suction down there. There we go, kind of. And you're gonna shake it up. Typically I would put the entire thing in when I squeeze it out, but I just wanted to show you how it was up in there. It's gonna separate in the dropper as well, so I don't know if you could see it when it came out, but the bottom was like oil and then the top was all the thicker foundation. And then I mix this too because again, it's mineral based, so all that, it doesn't have preservatives. There's 1,300 chemicals and preservatives and ingredients that are banned from our products. We go by European standards, which in the US there's like 7 that are banned. Unique has 1,300 banned products. So if you're looking for an actual healthier, all-natural product with no preservatives and chemicals, this is going to be better for you. So I put 4 drops of the BB cream and I put 3 drops of the foundation. It's going to make it a little bit more full coverage, and I just kind of dab it everywhere so that I can go back and blend it all out. This is going to help also. I have super dry skin, especially this time of year. And going forward, watch, I'll cover up my bag there. So adding the foundation to the BB cream is going to do 2 things. The BB cream is very moisturizing, so it's going to give you the moisture that you need that the foundation doesn't necessarily give you. The foundation is great for people with oily skin or normal to oily skin. It's not the best option for somebody with dry skin, but by mixing the BB cream, you're going to get the moisture. By mixing the actual liquid foundation, you are going to get more of a full covered. So you can also put it on your finger or put it on a blending bud and apply it that way. Whenever I'm mixing 2 products, I like to put it on a kabuki brush. This is just from Target. It works great, but I like to put it on a kabuki brush to I don't know, just to get the product on there so that I can mix it a little bit better. And you can see it's not gone completely, but they are nothing like no makeup. I'm going to put on a little bit of my concealer just under my eyes. I like to do my eyes one at a time with my blending bud. This is different for me because, like I said, I usually do my do this part first, and then I go back and do my eyes, my eyeshadow. But this is good because, like, if you've ever seen where people use the tape to put, like, right, how do I explain it? They put tape on their skin when they put their eyeshadow on so that they have that line. And you saw me do my eyes. Putting this on is like an eraser, and it's going to give you that line, as opposed to this side that it's just, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked that Finley has not come in here. You don't need a ton of this. I like to do one eye at a time because it will start to dry. A lot of people like to use their finger to apply. I personally like the blending bud. Again, I think these might have came from Target, I'm not sure. Just want to make sure you wash them out. Otherwise it's gonna get, which I need to wash mine, they're starting to turn color. You just want to wash them out. It keeps it cleaner. Then you don't have the buildup and you don't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Bacteria. You don't get any bacteria in there. And it just lightens up my face a ton. So if you can see, I just used what was left on my bud just to lighten up right down my center of my face. So that goes, that'll last forever. I just put a tiny bit on. This is anywhere that like the light would reflect right down the center of your face. and it just lightens up my face. I have serious bags. I don't know if that's from having children or not enough sleep or a combination of both, but that concealer, it's thin where the old stuff was thick. There's the old stuff. So here's the old stuff. Not that you can tell the thickness, but it was super thick. I used it, but it was more for, like, I had a blemish here. It was more for covering up blemishes, whereas this is very thin. It's easy to apply. Like I said, you just use the doe foot applicator, and it has the little hole in the center, so it's going to grab that product. And then you can just use your finger to apply, or a blending bud. I mean, you can even get the blending buds at the dollar store. They're not expensive. You can use your finger. You can use whatever you like. This, I still like it, but I prefer to add it into, like, my BB cream, because it's going to do what we just did today with the foundation. It's going to make it a little bit thicker, a little bit more full coverage. The BB cream can shade match about 4 to 5 different colors. This one is kind of light, which is good for now that it's winter and we don't see the sun. And I have a darker concealer because I used to use this to do the contouring, but you can mix the two of them and then get a little bit darker color, more full coverage. I did not care for that as under eye concealer because it would crease in my fine lines up there. So I'm gonna blend this side out just a little bit, and then I'm gonna get my smaller brush, and I'm gonna use the mauve. Just get a little bit and trail it right underneath my eye. This brush is great for that. I like it. Which one should I use? Like I said, I'm not feeling great today. I'm gonna use some Voila to contour. So anytime you use a cream product, you want to set it with a powder. So this is setting my darker areas that were also, it's also the contour, but you want to go back in the lighter areas because I'm not putting this dark powder there, and you want to set that with loose powder or pressed powder. Setting powder, you want to set it with something so that it'll stay all day and it won't just rub off, because liquid or cream products will rub off if you don't do that. So this is going to help it stay all day. And I'm going to blend it out with a different brush. With the contouring, both the highlight and the contour. The highlight, you can go as light as you want, or you can do one shade difference, or you could do your actual skin tone and do your under eyes and not worry about the rest. Same thing with the contouring, the dark color that I'm putting back in. You can do, some people like a darker contour, some like more natural, 1 shade, 2 shades. This is kind of dark, I would say, for me at least. But I've gotten used to doing highlights and contouring. I do change the color a little bit with the highlights. I don't too much with the contour, this is Voila. I like this color, and that's what I continue to use. But again, it's a preference. It's whatever you like. You can, whatever you're comfortable with. So for the lighter areas that I did not apply contour or powder, I'm just gonna set it. I'm gonna use the same brush, but I'm putting some of my setting powder on. I'm just gonna get some up under my eye, both eyes. Try not to make a mess because this is brand new and I took the cover off because I just feel like you can get more out without that. So I'm gonna put a little bit under my eyes, go down the center of my face. You can also use a blending bud and apply it that way. I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I apply it with a blending bud. I do use 2 different blending buds personally. Get that on there, or maybe it is on there. I don't know. I just don't want Finley to grab it and pull the lid off. So I use 2. Actually, I think these may have come in, I don't remember if they came individually or if it came in a 2-pack, but I use 2. I use this one for the pressed powder or any dry products. I use this one. This is the one that I get wet. Either way, you still want to wash them because you want to get the bacteria out, and you would be surprised if you go and wash it, even if you've only used it one time, how much it will hold. The reason I use this one for my wet products or to get wet with setting spray or with water, if you're applying like my concealer, if I'm applying concealer with a dry sponge, it's gonna soak all that product in. So you just spent good money for your product and now you're using a dry sponge and it's gonna soak it all up. A lot of times when I remember, or in the morning when I'm actually getting ready, I will get this completely wet and then I just wring it out and it will get to about this big. That way it's wet, the pores are wet, and it's not gonna soak in your product. So that's the tip of the day. With the dry blending bud, it's not gonna soak up your product because it's not wet, it's a dry product. But I like this one for the dry products because it has the flat side so you can really get into your eyes. So like I said, I already put the setting powder, but I can always push this in. I get fine lines and wrinkles up here, so I can use either my finger and press that out, or you can use the sponge, and that's gonna press the product into any wrinkles, and it's gonna leave for more of a smooth surface so that your stuff isn't gonna crease up on you. I also like to get around my nose because you naturally have a crease in there, and when I drive, I wear my glasses, and so I get right here where the nose pieces sit. Yeah. Got a hair. Is this purple? Or is this black? This is black. I'll do black. So, last week, our Black Friday special was a primer, an eyelash primer, and a serum, and a black 4D or a purple 4D. I did not get any extra purple because I didn't know how well they would go over. I got one for myself and that was it. But I did get a couple extra bundles of the black. So if you wanted to save money and get a primer or a serum and a black 4D fiber infused mascara. I still have a couple, just say lashes, and I can get you the details. So the primer is going to volumize, it's going to give you volume for your lashes. It's also going to condition it because it's got vitamin E oil, so it's going to condition and it's going to help them grow while you're wearing it. Just put that one away. The serum is you're going to put it on at night, and it will it'll help your lashes grow. It'll fill in any sparse areas. So if you need to put it on your brows, if your brows are not full and thick and you want them to be, you can use the serum on your brows. And the 4D mascara is a fiber infused mascara. So it's got fibers in here that are going to attach to your lashes and give you a falsies type look. This wand also has two sides, so the one side is going to separate, the other side is going to give length. That's why it's very important to rotate the wand as you twirl it on. I like to get the bottom done first, like the roots, and then go in and get the top of my lashes. Uh-oh, I hear Finley. I hear Finley. I was also debating putting together a Christmas, like a Christmas package, a gift basket, I guess, with a few different products. That's just one coat. This bundle, the lash bundle, whether you choose the serum or the primer and the 4D mascara, it's a great stocking stuffer. Almost everybody, whether you wear makeup or not, wears mascara. So it's a great gift. If you notice, I didn't put any primer on my bottom lids. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I also have the habit of, Finley's out there hammering. I also have the habit of, I'll put the primer on and then I don't get the backs of my lashes, so I'll go and look later and I've got white lashes. With the fiber mascara though, it's important to rotate the wand because it's going to get all the fibers infused back into the mascara. It's going to mix it up. You don't want to pump the wand because that is just going to put air in there and it's going to dry out your mascara faster. If you are using a primer, it's going to extend the length of the mascara because the more, I don't want to say the more primer you put on, but you put primer on, so the less mascara you're using. So this is buildable because of the fibers, but you don't have to, just put that on my eyelid. You don't have to go back to the root, otherwise it's going to clump, or it could clump. And another tip for your mascara, so a lot of times I look down Another thing you can do is look up, get your chin way up in the air. Excuse me. Get your chin way up in the air, and then you're not going to get it on the top of your eye like I did over here. The faces we make while applying mascara. And I still like to curl them. The primer will also curl your lashes, but I personally like to curl my own lashes with my eyelash curler. However, you gotta make sure you clean it or you can rip your lashes out. Normally I just run it under hot soapy water and get all the stuff off there. And I'm trying to be patient and let that one piece dry so that I can just flake it off, but I'm pretty impatient. I also have Q-tips here I can use, but I feel like if my lashes actually curled without an eyelash curler, they would look super long, but I have a hard time getting them to curl without my lash curler. I'm trying not to get any of my eyelid in there. There we go. Ta-da! Where? I was cleaning up in here. I don't know where I put anything. And I'm just gonna use my lip butter, which is super awesome. It smells like peppermint. They are gonna add this. Hey, Camilla. They are gonna add this to the core line, but I don't think that is until March of 2021. This is very, very hydrating. So it's got vitamin E, coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, and shea butter in there, plus a little bit of peppermint oil. So it's very hydrating on your lips. It's going to help replenish all the old dead skin cells, replenish them with some hydration. It's like, I don't want to say it's a mix between lipstick and chapstick. It's, to me, it's thicker than chapstick, but it's literally like the name says, it's like butter. It's so amazing. So again, if you're interested in this week's bundle, it's the eye cream. Today's the last day for it. Or I did get a couple extra mascaras. I only got black because I figured that would be more popular. So you can choose a serum, which is going to help your lashes grow, and a 4D mascara, or a primer, which is going to help condition your lashes. It's going to help give your lashes volume, separate and curl your lashes, and a 4D. So I have both of those options available. Just say lashes. And that's it. I'm gonna get off. I appreciate you guys hopping on your Sunday. Have a great evening. Thanks.